Hi everyone, this is Paul Schmidt, and I'm going to be doing the video introduction for this week's material. This week's theme is coastal ecology. We're going to be starting out with simply talking about the concepts surrounding that, coastal ecosystems. This particular picture is of a seal pup, which I came across while on the Washington State coastline a few years back. Just imagine it nestled here amongst all this, these tree trunks and large pieces of driftwood. I was just as surprised to see us as we were to discover it. But a nice little discovery there that particular day. Coastal ecology, something which is very important for coastal zone managers, policymakers to consider. If you're involved in a project, say consideration for construction of an LNG tanker terminal on a particular piece of coastline, development of resort facilities, whatever it may be, it's crucial that you take into consideration the particular living elements that exist there, the natural elements, when you're going to be considering or planning any kind of project. So in this unit we're going to be talking about coastal ecology, changes to ecosystems, i.e. Disturbance is a term we use in ecological science, food chains, food webs, how these different organisms interact, what feeds off of what, how they're all very much dependent on one another. A term which we'll be talking about is keystone species. Keystone species is something which refers to the top predators in a particular ecosystem. So in this example you have the hawk and the fox. You could usually substitute those for a marine ecosystem being the killer whale, sharks of some sort. On another land-based one you could have the bald eagle, you could have the Florida panther here. So keystone species is a significant predator in that food web, and the term keystone originates from architecture, the keystone being the final stone place which maintains the integrity of an arch. You can imagine, remove this stone and the arch simply disintegrates, falls apart. The same is very true with the keystone species in ecology. If that particular species disappears, things happen in that ecosystem, changes. It's not good. They fall out of balance. So that will be an interesting concept to go over. Dr. Robert Payne solidified that particular concept in the world of science by studying this particular starfish which exists in the intertidal zones of Washington State, the Peisaster starfish. This experiment, he showed the changes that occurred when the starfish was present or when it was removed. And we've got a nice animation here which will allow you to actually remove or add that starfish and see the corresponding changes. Next we'll be going to, off the coast of California also, there is a project, the Baykeeper Kelp Project, which is a group of individuals taking on this monumental task of attempting to, and they've had success in reestablishing kelp forests along the west coast. Kelp forests are under a lot of pressure, not just natural, but also from industry. Kelp is an important ingredient in a lot of products, which most of us probably are not aware. So this video gives great insight. It also brings up the issue of policy, management. Better management needs to be, or plans need to be put into place to protect, maintain this important resource, coastal resource that is right now not in the best of shape. Projects like this are helping it to come back, but again, more needs to be done. We'll be looking at this report put out by the EPA on the condition of the coastal waters. Nicely done. It separates it into the different zones and gives you a good idea of the condition. You'll actually be reading, one of the reading assignments is the executive summary of this report. Also, this is a terrific project which took place on Santa Cruz Island involving the keystone species. In this particular ecosystem, it was the Santa Cruz Island fox. So this group went to great pains to reestablish the population of fox on that island and actually bring some balance back to that ecosystem, which was not doing very well because of the absence of that fox for a number of reasons. Next, you'll be looking at this interesting research conducted by Dr. Sanderson, where he recreated what Manhattan may have looked like, the island of Manhattan, before being colonized. Very creative, did a lot of painstaking investigation to recreate what it looked like, different areas of it, and we're particularly lucky because there's a video of him actually presenting his research and finding. So I think you'll all enjoy that. Finally, here's the reading. There's the EPA report, the executive summary, a couple of fact sheets on Endangered Species and Marine Mammal Protection Act, and then finally a chapter which deals with state coastal management programs. Quickly, I sent out yesterday that video link to the oil spill in San Francisco. Here's the latest.
Cleanup crews working on the aftermath of Friday's oil spill in San Francisco Bay reported significant progress today. Crews now think most of the oil is on the shoreline, not in the water, but they still have plenty of work to do. ABC 7's Amy Hollyfield is in the newsroom with the latest for us. Amy.
Carolyn, the environmental toll is something they're still measuring. Crews say at least 10 birds have died, and they're almost positive there will be more. We got a first glimpse today of some of the oiled birds at the Wildlife Care and Education Center in Fairfield. They take them here after they stabilize them at the scene where they were found. So far, they have found 30 live birds. Again, they are almost certain there will be more. Most of them have been found along the Alameda shoreline. And we also have some pictures from yesterday of the recovery of some of those birds. If you stumble across a victim of this oil spill, crews have a specific request.
So, oil spills, an unfortunate event which happens much too frequently. As coastal zone managers, policymakers, something that really needs to be addressed. These oil spills, this particular one involved between 400 and 800 gallons of oil, they're estimating. It's washing up on the shores. Those shores are owned by private landowners, public beaches. It's disturbing fisheries, recreational facilities, recreational boating, a whole host of things. Do those regulations need to be revisited? Does a management plan needs to be put into place? Does it need to be revamped to better address this? Again, a very relevant issue, especially with us covering coastal ecology in this particular unit. You could see there from the images, it's affecting those birds. There's a lot more which it's affecting, which we're not seeing images of. So that's it for right now. Again, this week, coastal ecology, and I hope everyone's doing well.